Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. All right, I've got Michael Loya. He is with EnviroMax Solutions. And Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Michael. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here. All right, talk to me
sir.
about EnviroMax. What are you doing to change the world? Because I saw the demonstration, I saw the video. You got stuff out there that's just going to change the world, man. Tell our audience, what are you doing?
What is so good about this product, it's another recyclable product, and this is made from biomass, from sawdust. And this is the first of its kind. It's magnetically activated carbon. And it's done through the in situ process. So as it's being done as an activated MAC product, then it magnetizes. And so literally you can put this product on top of crude oil and it will pick it right up off of the water.
And when I saw that, it picked all of it up.
Yes, sir.
It didn't leave any of it away.
There's virtually no residual on the water.
Tell me about the industry sectors that you can use this with. I know it's the oil and gas, but give the audience a for instance about here's how it works in the application. Maybe they may not think about yet.
Yes, and what is so critical about this is that, you know, people are using all this equipment and they're using all these other technologies, but at the end of the day, if you have a product that's accessible all the time, that's just readily available, you have a spill, let's say, on top of concrete or on top of soil, you can just get a bag of this and you can just put it out there and it will start the process of picking up the product, the crude oil or the chemical. And then you can literally have that all picked up in a very record time. You're not going to be faced with all this other added equipment and everything else that comes in, or chemicals. And that's one thing that we're basing our technology is that it is made out of biomass.
Now you're working with the university. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I'm involved in a program that they have, and it's technology and commercialization that they've come out with, and I'm literally one of the first handfuls, and being the first to be involved with them and teaming up with UNT on one of their products. And this is the first environmental product to be involved in. So it's fantastic to be associated and teamed up with the Mean Green.
Okay, the Mean Green. All right. The industry insights into global oil spills, because this is a problem you're solving. Tell the audience just how big of a problem that you're solving.
Well, if you take into consideration just in 2015 alone, the global oil spill market was $131 billion plus. And it's continuing to grow. And just here a couple of days ago, we had that chemical spill, that additive that they use for regular gasoline. And right there in the Bay Area, right outside of Houston, they had a barge getting rammed by another ship, and it spilled over 25,000 gallons of that gasoline additive. So imagine when you have product, and then they said it wasn't going to do anything to harm the people, but what it does to affect, the aqua and, all the fish and all these other animals that are there, how they are affected. And literally you're using all of this toxic chemicals that they're over there, and they're ingesting that, and literally kills them.
And it gets into our food process and our ecosystem. Here's a question that I have. When I saw this video, it was a magnet, just boop, picked it all up, like bang, just like running a magnet through sand. It just ran it over water, and it picked all this oil up out of the. Tell us about this process. How is it that you're able to put sawdust on oil and have a magnet pick it up? How does that work?
Because you go through this process, and it's the magnetization of the activated carbon, and this is the first of its kind. So literally, it has the ability to go in and just pick up whatever chemical or petroleum product that you have there, and it grabs a hold of it. And then guess what? Because it is magnetized, you can just go right over it and use a magnet and pick all of it up. And as you saw in the video, it just picks it up almost completely.
So this is good out in the ocean as well as on land.
Yes, and we're going to be doing a bigger demo. And we're going to gear up for that, and then we're going to be testing it on a bigger basis.
Because I saw you had a barge with a big paddle wheel on the front.
Yes, we're coming up with the designs now where we're going to be manufacturing or putting together a type of boat, and it's going to have a type of belt system with magnets. So once you put the Enviromac out there on the water, then literally you can go by with a boat and then just pick up your crude oil or whatever chemical it is and pick it right up off of the water.
I assume that it's also recyclable, because once you pull that out, you can just separate it later.
Yes, you can. We're working on the screening process, and then what you can do with the Enviromac is that you can reactivate it and use it again.
Oh, so it's not a one-time thing. Okay.
No, it is not a one-time thing.
Where are we on the stage of the company? I mean, how close are we to getting to the point where it's actually we can implement this in a commercial process?
We're just rolling into the pilot stage.
Okay.
And then once we complete the pilot stage and we go through all the testing and the certification by a third-party laboratory, then we're in the process of rolling into the commercial stage, so we ramp up and we can produce, so we can get it out there to the public, to anybody that wants to purchase it.
This is huge. A private equity investor would definitely want to be in on the stage before Exxon or any of the other major BP pick you up and say, this is ours, this is our technology, and you can hire us for sharing it with you. I have a feeling that you're on the verge of something that is massively global.
Yes, and that is something that's very important. That we had an evaluation done. I was very fortunate to have one of the top engineers in the whole United States do an evaluation on this, and we'd worked together when he was at the National Laboratory, and there was an issue with some environmental drilling, and I put forth a few technologies that would solve the problem, and that was rectified, and then went with another drilling methodology, and it worked out perfect. And
how did you guys come up with this?
How did we come up with
the technology to actually go out and commercialize this?
Well,
somebody had to come up with the idea.
Well, I've been very fortunate, because dealing with people that have been in the industry, like Paul, like Mr. Huber, 44 years with Bechtel. He has done seriously big projects. He's built nuclear power plants. He's done things that are technically very, very high tech. And he was just the perfect person to get involved in. And he is very conscientious about the fact that we need to have a clean environment. And that's very important for me. And if you don't have, oil is very critical. That is a function, that is a base for us to do business. And because of oil, you have all these other products that are made from oil-based products. So it's important. So it is our responsibility to come up with technology that will help, and that's what they need, because you're going to have problems in cleanup. Those things happen. So why don't we found an opportunity and a product that can sit there and help remediate these issues.
I got it. Now, this isn't the only thing you do. You also work with veterans. What do you do with them?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm on the board of directors of the Texas Veterans Hall of Fame, and then I'm the special projects coordinator for the Denton County Marine Corps League. And so we do the ramps for vets. We do a lot of other projects. But right now, what we're going to do with Enviromac Solutions is that we're going to roll out a veterans training program in the environmental cleanup industry. And I did projects. I had a company, and we did good-sized environmental cleanup projects for the Army Corp of Engineers, the Air Force, and other government agencies. And we were dealing with some very seriously toxic chemicals. And I was very fortunate, too, when I was sitting on the board of directors. I was sent by the Department of Energy and the National Lab to Washington, D.C. to do presentations at the Environmental Justice Conference. And this is from a practical side.
So you're going to employ veterans in the process as you grow this company.
Yes, and we want to train them because people don't even begin to know how important our water resource management is, and that's very important. You
were telling me about one thing, that you were in Nevada, and this toxic waste was going into the aquifers that was going all the way out to the Gulf.
Yes, we were working at the old solid rocket fuel plant, and we were doing some environmental drilling and testing for perchlorate, and going in, and there is a leaching effect, and so that would go, and it would be transmitted, and it would go down, and it just kept going, and then it wound up in Phoenix, and it just kept going. So this is something that is very critical. So, you have to be very conscientious about how you take care of your water. And as a lot of these aquifers, are having volume problems, we need to be able to repurpose our water. And that is very important. We need to have the ability to screen out all the toxins.
Brilliant. Michael, thanks for being a guest on the show.
Well, I thank you, Michael, and I appreciate it. And we're just here to help, and we're here to help our veterans. It's very important for me.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'll have you back.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for watching CEO Money. It's Michael Yorba. Thank you for liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.